Welcome to the Building Savages podcast.
New favorite fitness podcast.
I'm your boy Terrence, aka Building Beast.
I'm Evan Perez, aka EP.
On this podcast, we talk to our fellow coaches, athletes, and everyday gym goers about health, fitness, business, entrepreneurship, self growth, and so much more. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, or
We'll find you and make you smash the subscribe button. Hope you enjoyed today's topic.
So in our previous episode, we were just talking about that walking clip that was going around. So I know my thoughts on that were, I mean, we already expressed it, but the point that we want to bring up on this episode is clickbait, right? So I think, not even I think, like with today's society and the way that things move, a lot of things are posted with the intention on getting a reaction,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not necessarily saying that that's what that video was, but the way it was clipped, you can clearly see that the conversation was out of context. And a lot of people take clips that they see and they just kind of run with it. Why? Because, we got so much other shit that we're doing in life. So everything's not so important to us to just kind of like run with it and want to do more research.
Yeah.
Now, people know that when they're trying to get viewership, right? So we're going to put the thing that looks theatric, we're going to put the thing that looks like, okay, this is going to spark some type of controversy and it's going to get people talking. And it's a form of marketing. I forgot
Yeah.
the actual term for it. And there's outrage marketing. That's what they call it.
Yeah. Or negative
So,
marketing.
yeah. And as much as people like might have negative backlash, it does wonders
Yeah.
for someone's engagement. Now, some people say like all publicity is good publicity. I don't fall by that. That's why I don't really market myself in that way. But there's a lot of people that stand on the side like if you're talking about me, then I'm doing something right.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's interesting because I think it goes back to the thing of like our attention span and how fast things move and stuff like that. Like um like the grasping negative things is a lot more enticing than grasping positive things. That's why the news is so like negative all the time because like people were like, oh, we're gonna die, oh, there's a nuke, oh, whatever, like, and we're not getting political stuff like that, but like people are very attached to it because if it's just always like puppy dogs and fucking butterflies, like people are like, I'm bored of this, I want to watch something else. But
Yep.
it's the same thing with like with in our fitness community. It's like if you eat this, you're wrong. I was like, oh shit, I should not eat this because I'm gonna get fat. Like, don't do this, and then this is stupid. Well, like shit like that, like always happens. Like and it's very easy for the average person to like listen to something, take it for what it is instead of grasping it because like they don't, like you said, they don't want to do their research. But it also goes into the fact of like fitness influencers who grasp the same things, take bits and pieces and then use it for what they want to market and to get to sell a product. And it's very scary because then people are consumed by fear instead of consumed by knowledge and understanding of like what actually works better for them because they're always
Mm,
fearful. Because I'll have conversations all the time, but like I people still believe carbs are bad because every single fitness influencer is like, oh, you can't eat that because of this, or
yeah.
you can't eat that because of that, or protein having too much protein is bad for you, or um doing this will make you fat. And the amount of fear that people have for all this stuff in our community is because these influencers are ruining this because everybody like you have 1,000 followers and you look good, you're automatically knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And that is not the case. So my goal and my rebranding, and this is something that I can talk about here because I'm working on it currently, is to help debunk and help people navigate through clickbait and navigate
Nice.
through all this stuff and understand this a little bit better. Be like, hey, if a fitness influencer says this, then most of the time they have no idea what they're doing. If an Instagram influencer is like selling you this, most of the time they're selling you it, they probably don't even know what the fuck it does. They're selling it because they need to because that's how they make their money. So the problem is that a lot of times like I'll get a bunch of stuff on Instagram and be like, hey, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? And a lot of it is the same answer, just told it by a different person, or the same question
Yeah.
by a different person. It's like, all right, well, did this person, what are the things that they usually say? If it's an absolute, If it's absolute, like this is wrong, usually they don't know what they mean. There's no, and I'm telling you right now, people, there are no absolutes in fitness. Okay. Maybe like one or two things, like you need to build muscle or you need to have protein. You need to do like the basic foundational stuff, but there are no absolute exercises. There's no absolute foods. There's no absolute whatever. Like it's just people don't say it depends. Like most of the time, they have no idea what they're doing. Like if they're selling you a program, most of the time they'll do that program. If they work out differently every other day, they have no, they that's not the program that they do. Just be making people more knowledgeable of understanding how to navigate through this stuff a little bit better because it's important because this is where people get most of their information from,
Yeah.
like majority of it, and it's scary. So going back to the topic at hand is like clickbait is dangerous if you guys don't know how to navigate and just like read through the lines of certain things. And this is what happened to our previously mentioned topic of this person said something, and I didn't even watch the like. You want to see how crazy I am? I didn't even watch the full clip. I saw her say walking is an exercise, and I moved on because I was like, "Fuck this lady." So like that just shows you that in 3 seconds of hearing something, I automatically turned it off or turned it on. And that's
See,
what
that's
people
so funny, right?
that's
Because as soon as I heard that, I was just like, "Oh no, that's not what she's trying to say."
yeah, I
And
so
and it's funny, is like people will perceive however they'll perceive it based on,
like
whatever they just
exactly.
view the world as, or whatever they view information. So like
Yeah,
when we take these little bits and we take these little clips, um, whatever naturally we think, that's gonna show when we're looking at something. So we had two completely different um perceptions of that when we saw the clip. Like you said, like, oh, she's bucking. My brain goes to there has to be more than this
yeah,
because like because and maybe there's a little bit of like a relationship equity there because I know, not saying I know her personally, but I know of her
yeah.
work.
No, some of her stuff, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it didn't, for me. It's just like, all right, where is this going?
yeah,
Like if this
oh, yeah,
can't be this can't be the message. But and I guess we're like, see, this happens in every field, right? Like you'll see it in, like, if you're not familiar with investing and you're not really understanding finances the most, there's a lot of shit out there that is just clickbait or just misinformation. But if you don't know the field or the industry, you almost take it as word. So
yeah,
for us who understand fitness at a higher level than most, it is easier to filter out certain things. If it's like you can almost see the smoke and mirrors within the first 2 to 3 seconds, where somebody else is just like, "Oh, I heard this here. I heard this here. I heard this here," and it's like none of us are above it because we all have our expertise in certain areas of life more than other people. So the tough part becomes the people that have a lot of integrity in their industry. How do we get our messages out there to really inform people the right way that we should, opposed to kind of leading them astray to the wrong things? But typically the people that have a lot of the information, we typically struggle more with how to market it attractive to people to follow in, whereas the opposite kind of plays for most other people. Is they'll have the marketing strategies down pat, but they're luring people into misinformation or just clickbaity shit, and there's not really much to deliver past that part.
yeah. It's a scary world. It's also like on top of that, it's information overload. Like
Mm,
it's we get a bunch of information for 2 to 3 seconds, and then all the information apparently is true. And because we're dissecting or people are looking at this at such a high rate, they're grabbing all that information and then they're like, I forgot which one is correct or which one is true. Like it's just so much going on. So filtering certain people, like it will be super important. And that's like what we're saying before. It's like filtering, fucking understanding, having a better foundational base of understanding fitness, nutrition, and stuff like that is super important. And I think even as us, and like we need to do better at this too, is because like as really good professionals like in the field, and like you said, we're all not great at marketing stuff like that. Like we also need to invest in understanding and how to market because
yes.
becoming so saturated and we're making so many excuses for ourselves of like we're so great and we don't have the time. Who has time to market? There's always an easy way to do it, and we need to all be better at that. If we're really fucking good at our job, we are also very adaptable. If we're very adaptable, then there has to be a way to understand and learn how to market better to help as many people as we can. So that's like the thing that I think will change the dynamic. It's like it is oversaturated. It is an issue. Um, it is all on also sex appeal, and it's all on um sex appeal and fucking I don't know, and just marketing and just being
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like we have to do better. We as great strength coaches, like and I'm calling all the people that listen to us too. It's like we need to do better at marketing. We all do need to do better at that because if we all reach them and we all debunk these people and we all give solid information, it will be more valuable to people than just like fucking watching this fucking girl squat 1,000 times. And I'm not gonna lie, I do it also. Like I watch these girls squat and I listen to these people and I follow these people because they're inspirations to like understand how to market, but they're also like, how the fuck did these people get to where they need to go? And like, how the fuck do they live in Miami? Like in the fucking skyrise and shit like that. I want to do that. So, and I'm
But see,
better at my job.
the other part too is like how much of that is actually true.
That part too. It's a,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
a lot of stuff is a production, so a lot of people aren't living the lives that they're portraying
yeah,
necessarily in a lot of these accounts or these videos that you see. And a perfect example, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, right?
yeah,
Ryan Garcia said something which I thought was really interesting. He was like, "Y'all believe anything," and it was like, "I trained for this fight." Like
yeah,
all these shenanigans, y'all believe anything, and he just took it from the school of playing into whatever today is to get y'all to tune in and um think that he wasn't taking this fight seriously. And what a lot of people don't know is they fought each other 6 times already in the amateurs.
yeah,
You know, so this is what their seventh time fighting when now it's on a pro level. Um, and their record I think is 3-3 against each other in the amateurs.
yeah,
But Ryan Garcia is really good at playing today's game. Whether you agree with it or you disagree with it, it works because you tuned in, you paid attention. He made a crap load of money off of that fight, even with paying Devin Haney 500,000 per pound, which Devin
yeah,
Haney confirmed to be true. So he lost 1.5 million in that, but he made a ton more in that. So that
yeah,
1.5 million loss wasn't much compared to what he gained off of it. And it's just like he played the game, dude. He
yeah,
played the game and he almost like rigged the system in that. You
yeah,
know, do I still think he might be a little off? Possibly.
yeah, pretty much.
But you he definitely showed up completely prepared to that fight.
Yeah, that was a great
And
fight.
he even said it was like the beer that he drunk at the weigh-in or whatever like that. It wasn't beer. He's like,
Mhm.
I just put it in a beer bottle and just it's like it's just it's so easy to like sway people's judgment today and
Yeah,
like a masses. It's very, very easy to do it. And if you're willing to play that game because you don't really care about the feedback or the backlash that comes to you, people will do it.
yeah,
I haven't got comfortable to do stuff like that. It's just not in my character and my nature to like play that way. But like I do understand the brains of people that do that, and it's just like, well, I got this product or this thing that I'm trying to sell or this brand that I'm trying to, and the quickest way to get attention to yourself is to do some negative stuff because negativity spreads way faster than positivity, and that's just a sad reality of how this thing goes.
yeah, pretty much.
Floyd Mayweather played into the same thing. He played into being the heel, and the heel is like the term that they use in wrestling for like the bad guy. Like he played into being the bad guy. All right, well, people are paying these fights to see me lose. Like that's what it is. Not even so much to
That
root
is
for me
so
to
true.
win.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah,
They're paying to see me lose, and I'm not losing. It is making people upset, and I'm doing the same thing for the next fight. You're marketing myself because y'all hate me so much, and you are literally paying to see me lose so you can talk about it. But I'm
yeah,
not losing. It is driving y'all crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like this is the game,
Yeah,
bro.
you play Floyd Mayweather fucking standards. I hate that guy. So yeah, pretty much, and it makes
Works.
fucking he made millions of dollars doing that. Millions
Yeah,
of dollars.
and a lot of people started trying to take off of that. I think everybody doesn't bite that the same way or do it the right way, but you know, it kind of comes from that school. And anybody that watches wrestling, right? The people that get talked about the most in wrestling are always the bad guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I hate him, I hate him, I hate it. Like that's how it always works, bro. Like it always works that way.
Mhm.
And you need a good villain arc. Like if everybody in boxing was just like positivity and like rainbows and sunshines and stuff, it wouldn't bring that excitement to it. So you
Yeah.
need someone to play the villain, and you need a villain and you need a hero.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty,
so there's enough villains in our industry that gives us the room to play hero. Because
exactly.
if not, then it's like it almost gets brushed away because there's not enough like combativeness or like yeah, that it's like not enough combativeness for us to be like, hey, that's the wrong shit. If
Yeah.
everybody agreed with the same thing, then it's like, all right, well, there's no discussions here, there's no controversy, so it's not as important to focus on because it's just not stimulating people enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, people just like a good fight. I mean,
Yeah,
people just like
that's it.
people like controversy. People like. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, why does anybody ever watch First Take? Like First Take and all these fucking shows. Like it's literally that is them arguing about their beliefs about
Yeah,
sports. It's like, so at the end of the day, if you take it into you make this big thing and you turn it into the small thing, which is social media, people are doing the same exact thing. They're trying
that's
to
it, bro.
rile people up, make them scared about something, argue with somebody else to get them on their side. That's all it is. And what we're trying to educate you guys on is the fact that people are doing this and you need to fucking pick and choose the right ones. You need to be aware of all the things. And like again, we talked about before, there's not a lot of time to do your research and stuff like that. That's why you need to do a better job of picking and choosing. You need to be
Yeah,
a better
you got to
job of
take
making.
things with a grain of salt, man. Like that's really
Oh,
what it is. Especially when you see things through like social media. There's a lot of good stuff you can find on social media. Don't get me wrong. Like you follow some pages and you really do it, like you're digging and research. There's a
yeah,
lot of amazing pages that I follow, but
easy.
with every amazing page, there's two or three or four or five bullshit
Mhm.
information or pages to follow through. You know,
Yeah,
it's just a filtering system, and this is almost like with anything in life. Like you have to, especially the way that we gain information today, like you
yeah,
have to take everything with a grain of salt and you have to realize like a lot of information is without context and everything's not so black and white like you think it is. There's a lot of gray in the world and that's
uh,
just how it works. And one thing I always say is like the the more accessible we get to information, the harder it is to digest it.
yeah, fair.
It's so interesting. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, keeping people in shape today is harder to me than it was earlier in my career, even with having being a way better coach today and just having way more information. At least for general population, I'm speaking more so. There's so much information out there, and a lot of people are so quick to finding the easiest way to do it that they don't really they don't really search to do the work themselves as
Mhm.
much. You know, like fitness back in it, like today, bro. Like I use Train Heroic, or we use these training softwares. You got sets, reps, videos, the script. It's the easiest situation in the world. You log it. Like
Mhm.
back in the day, bro, it's like there wasn't much videos to look for. You might have found something on YouTube. You're logging your stuff in a notepad. You
Yeah,
know, like you got to save on to your book. Like, but the upside to that was the people that was doing that was really into it.
yeah,
And the more accessibility you have to giving people some of these tools today, it's almost like taken for granted opposed to like using this as something to be more grateful for because you're just trying to find like easy solutions through a lot of this. And sometimes it's literally just as simple as like putting in more work or just like doing some of this self work to get some of these results you look, instead of like over analyzing every little thing that you see and trying to find a lazy way out to get some of these results. And it's like, that's just not how this stuff works. And
Yeah,
that's what all feels. And I'm just relating it to fitness because this is what we do.
yeah. I think people. We just live in a society where everything just almost gets done for us because everything is, like you said, so easily accessible. So people don't like to do the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Point blank period, people just don't like to do the hard stuff because it takes too much effort, it takes too much time. If there's an easy way to do, like, to get it done, they're gonna do it. But the problem is that, if anything, like, one of the things that are impossible to hand over and get done is fitness. Like,
Yeah.
you can't make
Yeah.
anybody else run for you, you can't make anybody else train for you. You can pay somebody to make you successful. Like, you can literally pay, if you have the money to do that stuff, you can hand that stuff over.
Yeah.
But if you want to worry about your health and your fitness, like, you have to do that shit yourself. And
Yeah. The most
nobody
we
else
could do is lead you to the water, but we can't actually do the work for you.
can't
I can get
actually
someone to build a house for me. I can
exactly.
get someone to do my finances for me, but I can't get someone to do the workouts for me. I can't get someone to actually like get the results for me, but I can get structure and guidance and the resources and tools to do so from my self effort.
Yeah. I think we're getting a little bit off topic and we're a little over time. But if I had to drop one more thing for the clickbait stuff, if the person is too goddamn sexy, that person is trying to sell you something and they're not real. If you're too goddamn sexy, they're too goddamn sexy, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They're just sexy and that's about it. Just be careful with the sexy ones. Uggos. Only Uggos. Trust Uggos. All I got.
Yeah, if someone's selling point is literally just their physical image, like damn
Yeah,
near only, then you kind of know what that is. You should know what that
exactly.
is at
You
least.
should hopefully know what that is, but we still follow those people because they're
Yeah.
fuck. It's just gonna happen.
Well, you follow those people. He's saying we.
Yeah,
They just pop up in my explore page.
I got a girlfriend now, man. I've been deleting. Been
Yeah,
deleting.
I'm
I've been
sure.
deleting. Unfollow. What do you mean? What am I on my page now?
Only person Evan's following is gonna be me, the podcast, and his girlfriend.
That's it. 3 followers.
Everybody else,
Yeah,
all
three
the other
followers.
girls are gone.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get in trouble no more. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
And this is clickbait.
This is
We're gonna
clickbait,
clip this
baby.
up. We're gonna
Fucking
clip it up for the
yeah, yeah, chop and screw this shit up, motherfucker. Hey,
episode.
get me in
and,
trouble.
and this is what clickbait is all about, guys.
Oh shit.
Like always, like and subscribe, set your notifications for all future content of the BSP, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Yes, sir.